Hi, and welcome to Rubric Rescue, time-saving grading techniques. This is our asynchronous version of this workshop. So as you see on our title card, if you have any questions during the workshop presentation, you can email the facilitators directly. So with that being said, let's begin. My name is Natalie Gray. I am a senior instructional designer here at CERT. I work mainly with Coggin School of Business, CCEC, and the history department. Davy?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Natalie. My name is Davy Thompson. I'm also an instructional designer here at CERT. I work predominantly in Brooks College of Health. If you've seen me before, great to have you back. And if not, hopefully I have a chance to work with you in the future. All right, I'm going to get started by quickly just telling you about our objectives for today's workshop. We're first going to differentiate between holistic and analytic rubrics. The wonderful Natalie is going to take us over that in a second. Then we're going to recognize the 4 different parts of a rubric. We'll follow that by drafting and developing a rubric. So we'll actually show you how to develop a rubric from the start, from the very beginning all the way into incorporating into your Canvas course. And then, oops, I gave away the last one. Yes, after we create that rubric, we're going to show you how to put it into your Canvas course, and you can put it in multiple of your courses if you'd like. We'll show you how to do that. We're going to quickly just go through our agenda. What we'll be covering in today's workshop. We're first going to gain an understanding of the different types of rubrics. As I said, we have holistic and analytic. Natalie's going to take us through that. And we're going to go through when each type is most appropriate for your assessment. Next, we'll discuss the essential parts of a rubric, and we're going to break down their significance, why they're important, and why all of them should be included in the rubrics that you're creating. We'll then explore the step-by-step process of creating a rubric. So like I said, you can follow along with us, or maybe watch the workshop all the way through and then decide you want to create a rubric and come back and pause as needed. But we'll go through creating the different, going through the different steps of creating a rubric, all the way from initial planning to final refinement. And then finally, Natalie is going to showcase how we actually take those rubrics and share them within the Canvas learning management system. Thank you.
Yes. So now we are going to talk about the advantages of rubrics. And as you can see, one of the very first advantages to using rubrics in your courses is ensuring consistency when grading. Now, this consistency could just cover yourself if you are grading multiple sections in a semester. You can also ensure consistency with grading in a class across multiple semesters. If you are lucky enough to have a grader, a TA, a grad assistant who helps you grade, you're also going to have consistency amongst yourself and your support team, your graders, in that the rubric is going to already contain the items you're looking for each grading criteria and each rating. So your graders and whoever may be supporting you with grading already knows what it is you're looking for. So therefore, they're going to grade closer to what you're going to grade. When it comes to timely feedback, good thing about rubrics is it's already there for you. That way you're not rewriting, copy and pasting the same feedback over and over again for each student. I do have an anecdote about someone who started using rubrics in a discussion board. She said once she started using the discussion board rubric, it cut her time grading in half to like 2/3. She was really excited about that. Now, the last item that's a big advantage with rubrics is that students can familiarize themselves with the assessment expectations. In fact, I've even written it on here that the rubric really does act like a second set of instructions. So students will go and look at your rubric and see if they are hitting all the metrics that you want for your assignment. Now, there are 2 types of rubrics. The first is a rubric you may not be familiar with, and that's a holistic rubric. Holistic rubrics are very general. In fact, I almost call them general rubrics. just because you'll see with the criteria on this page, the rubric is very general. This feedback just says excellent to very good performance. And if you read one of these, whether it's the excellence, the poor performance, good to average, you'll notice there are no discrete, concrete examples of possible student mistakes or requirements for that criteria. This means that is a huge drawback for this type of rubric. You might have a student email you questioning, hey, what did I not do right? For example, with the poor performance, they may ask, what do you mean my grammar is poorly executed? I only have 10 spelling mistakes. So you'll want to keep in mind that this is going to be a general rubric. Now, you'll also notice I say this is best for low stakes assignments. I'm not suggesting that all discussion boards are low stakes. This is just the example we're going to use throughout this section. However, low stakes assignments are typically formative assignments. So it's not going to be something you're going to break down every single criteria. And in fact, every single criteria in your rubric is actually called an analytic rubric. And this is what most of you are going to think or see in your mind's eye when I say rubric. And this is when you have those multiple criteria on your rubric, you're breaking that down very clearly for students. And this is great for all assessments or assignments that use that breakdown of criteria. But as you know, if you've ever started building a rubric, the time investment can be quite heavy, that initial upfront investment. In fact, this rubric that you see, it might be familiar to some of you because we use this in our CERT templates for instructors to use in Canvas. And this discussion board, the ratings are pretty vague. Now, what you'll want to do is if you want to use this rubric or, just to get inspiration or go online to find other rubrics for inspiration, you could start with this and then develop in something like our second rubric that is very in-depth. And you'll see on this example, we've got the response is lengthy, at least one solid paragraph, responds to each question, excellent use of grammar with 0 grammatical errors. Now, you'll notice this is going to take a longer time to develop. And I even have a different title. So if you're developing this during a semester, you can have one discussion board rubric and then start using the second if that's what you like to do. And now I'm going to give this over to Davy, and she is going to talk about the different rubric components.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Yes, so as you saw on those last couple of slides, you probably picked up words like criteria, task description, rating scale. We're going to dive deeper into those right now. So let's explore the essential components of this rubric that we are about to create in this workshop. First, we have our criteria. As Natalie said, our criteria is going to outline the specific aspects of performance that will be evaluated. This really provides the most clarity on what you're expecting your students to demonstrate for you. Our task description, this provides the context and details about the assignment or task being assessed. Okay, so these two go hand in hand. They're really important. Our rating scale consists of objective and concrete levels of performance. So examples of this would be A, B, C, D, F, or maybe good, average, needs improvement. Okay, this is individualized up to you. And then our last component articulates the characteristics and benchmarks associated with each level of that rating scale. So let's say you do the ABCD method. What does an A look like for you? What does a B look like for you? This is where you really describe the different performance that you're looking for at each rating. Thank you so much. Now we're going to dive even deeper into these different components, starting with our criteria. So we have right here, what are you looking for? All right. When we talk about criteria in a rubric, we're just defining what exactly student performance you're seeking. In a rubric, you can have multiple criteria, and they can each address different elements of performance. So sticking on theme with a discussion board. Some different criteria examples, frequency of participation. So maybe you want there to be an original post, and then maybe you want 2 student replies, all right? A different criteria you can use is use of evidence. Maybe you want them to include evidence in their post. Another one, grammar and mechanics. Again, these are just examples. These are individualized up to for what you are exactly looking for in this assessment. Next, we have our task description. Our task description provides a full explanation of each criterion listed in the rubric. This offers context and details about the assignment or performance task being assessed. So again, just sticking on theme with a discussion board, let's say you are looking for use of evidence. What expectations regarding the integration of evidence are you looking for? What examples or guidelines to illustrate what constitutes effective use of evidence? Again, these are just some examples, but you really want to give a full description of what the criteria is asking for. Thank you so much. Now we're moving right along to our rating scale and performance quality. Our rating scale is a point system used in a rubric. So this allows for the differentiation of performance levels. You're going to have a rating title and a rating description. So right here we have our example rating title full marks. So this is all of the points. Another rating title might be excellent. You decide this for you. And then the description is, what does it mean? So full marks, what does full marks mean? This offers concrete objective evaluation of the performance at each level. So if a student's coming in and saying, I want full marks on this assignment, they can look at that rating description and know exactly what they need to execute to get all of the points. And now I'm going to move on to our rubric commonalities and tips. So again, staying on theme with our discussion, we love discussions here at CERT. We're going to explore some common criteria and tips effective for creating your rubric. Again, the example is discussion board, but please use whatever assessment you're thinking in your head right now and individualize this for that. So criteria, some different criteria that we often see. Original post, required number of reply posts. Do you want 1 student response? Do you want 2 student responses? Quality of post content, sorry. Citation of materials in posts and grammar. Again, just some examples that we commonly see at UNF. Rating scale, as I said, you might prefer the A, B, C, D, E, F route. Good, bad, average. This is specific as you want. This is as specific as you want. So this reflects how you grade an item. Again, and with that, we need to know what does each rating scale, what does that what does that equal? What are you looking for in that? So review what you're looking for at each criteria. What is an A going to look like? What is a B going to look like? You want the students to be able to say, I want this grade, be able to look at the description and know exactly what they need to execute. Oh, okay, sorry. And now we're on to I'm most excited about this part to show you some rubric inspiration and how you can incorporate ChatGPT. Natalie was telling you, which is so true, rubrics really are a really, really good way to save time in your courses. And to save even more time, let's utilize some of these new AI features. ChatGPT, we've been talking about it a lot. I always like to say ChatGPT, it's a place to start, but it's not a place to finish. This is a great place just to kind of get a rough idea of a rubric that you might want to create for your course. If you need some more inspiration, a simple internet search is a great way just to kind of gain some ideas. What do some other instructors teaching this content, what are they looking for when they're grading a similar assignment, okay? You can take all of this knowledge and incorporate it into your ChatGPT search to help create a rubric. So I am going to quickly take over and share my screen and actually show you how to put in a prompt into ChatGPT and how it will create an actual rubric for me and how I'm going to edit it in another document. And then our wonderful Natalie will show you how you can take all of that material and actually plug it into your Canvas course.
One.
All right, I have typed in ChatGPT into my search bar. We have some different slides available for you if you are new to ChatGPT and how to sign up. You'll see right here the button to sign up. Since I already have an account, I'm just going to log back in. And I have mine saved with my Google account. We're going to give it just one quick second. And there we have my blank page ready for me. So I've already copied and pasted exactly what I want to write into ChatGPT, but I'm going to read it out for you. I wrote, can I please, I always ask please. I just feel like if I ask nicely, it does a better job for me. So can I please create an analytic rubric for a 10-point discussion board with 3 different criteria and 3 different ratings in a table format. Okay. So you'll notice I said in a table format. If I didn't say that, it most likely would just the answers in bullet form, which is totally fine. You can still copy and paste it into a table format, but this just, again, makes it a little bit easier. And we're all about saving time. So I'm going to press enter and see what ChatGPT comes up with for me. Awesome. Wow. I think that was what, under 5 seconds? That's pretty incredible. Again, ChatGPT is a starting place. This is not where you're going to finish. A lot of this information might not be really relevant to your discussion board, but a lot of it might actually be. And so it's a good place to start. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to simply copy this table exactly as is. And I'm a Mac user. And so what I'm going to do is hit Command C to copy this table. Natalie, do you know what my other users might be doing?
Windows will use Control C as your
Control
hotkey
C.
combination.
Thank you, Natalie. Yes. Okay. So either Control C or Command C to copy this table. And I just pulled up a Google document. Again, you might prefer a Word document or a different version. We have those examples for you in the slides provided, but just to save time, I'm going to use a Google Doc, and I'm simply going to hit my hotkey Command V to paste it. And what are our other users doing, Natalie?
For Windows users, you're going to use Control V.
Control V. I should
Yep.
know that. Okay.
And I
So,
should say before you go on, Control V as in Victor, just
oh,
in case you thought I said something else. But
Victor.
sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, thank you for that. So you're either doing Control C or Command C to copy and Command V or Control V to paste. Hopefully I got that right. Okay,
Yes.
so now we have our beautiful ChatGPT created table into our Google document. As I said, this is not going to be your final one. We want to individualize this. Maybe you don't really care about engagement and interaction, so change this to something you do care about. You can change the criteria. Maybe you want excellent to be more points. Maybe you want needs improvement to be 0 points. You can change this here. If you want to actually change the table format, that's also easy. You'll see I'm taking my mouse just to hover over the different areas of the table, and I see a plus box. So there I can simply add a row below. If I want, oopsies, sorry. If I want to maybe add a column, again, hover, you'll see a plus box. It will add a column for you. Um, Here, I'm just going to go back to take those away. Another thing I just want to quickly show you, let's say you pasted your table, but you completely want to start a new table from scratch. You can also do that. Right here, I'm going to just simply click Insert Table. And here you can add as many columns and rows as you please, if that's just maybe a fresher view for you. And I think that's it for me on ChatGPT. I hope this was helpful. Again, a place to start, not a place to finish, but a really good tool for getting these rubrics created quickly and hopefully giving you a really good baseline to start with.
All right. So thanks for that, Davy. We really appreciate it. And again, as we've said before, all of this information is going to be in the slide deck that is going to be available to you in the Canvas version of this workshop. So you'll be able to self-enroll and then get access to all of these instructions. So look at that. We're like, it's adding it is easy. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to stop here so you know that in the slide deck, the rest of these are going to be step-by-step pictorial instructions for how to add rubrics in Canvas. All right, so as you've noticed, I paused the recording and suddenly there is my Canvas sandbox. And I'm going to start showing you how to attach rubrics on the rubrics page. That is right here. Now you can name your rubrics all kinds of things. You'll notice I've got several discussion board examples. And I will say if you have several discussion or several rubrics with a similar name, add a number and particularly your semester and year. And that's going to come in really handy when you're trying to find rubrics across all of your courses. So you could share them in all of your classes. Now for our rubric creation, I'm just going to go to the rubrics workshop and I'm going to edit rubric. That's it. You can go in and you can add your different description of your criterion. This is just your criteria. I'm just going to put grammar. And then I'm going to go to add criterion, new criterion, say replies. And now I'm going to go to criterion, add new criterion. We'll put original post, like this is a discussion board. We'll just continue with that theme. And just so you could see what a long description, I'm just going to make up, just, hit things on my keyboard here. And there you'll see in the bigger description, that's going to come underneath here. Now, let's say I don't know about you, but I have a cat at home. He likes to walk on my keyboard. And let's say that was the cat walking across the keyboard and you do not want to keep that. Just go in, delete, and update your criterion, just like that. Now, here you're going to see there is only 2 ratings. You can add a rating here. Let's just say this. You can see I've got a lot of people's rating. You would put your description here. Let's say my cat is walking across the keyboard and there is a rating. Now, I do have some people like me. I'm a former history professor. I grade ABDCF. There's still an E, like you could fail with an E, and an F to me would be no submission. So I could have a 0 marks. This would be my, we'll put failing, even though I wouldn't suggest putting failing in a description there. But here, let's say you don't want to say no marks, you want to say no submission, because that's pretty self-explanatory as to why they got 0 points. Now, what you'll want to do is click Update Rubric. That blue button saves everything. Now, let's go back to the rubrics page. And let's say you don't have anything to start with. That's where you're going to hit the Add Rubric. It's automatically going to title your rubric Some Rubric. You want to change this first. I would say Rubric. And we're going to say Sample 1. And then you'll want to hit Create Rubric. And the reason why you want to add this is, I can tell you from personal experience, trying to figure out which sum rubric is, and there's 10 sum rubrics because you forgot to name your rubric. Not saying I've done this multiple times, but it will take some time to find that rubric that you're looking for. So make sure that you name it pretty succinctly, but thoroughly. You want to know exactly what it is. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to my assignments page, and I've already got that handy dandy tab here. Yay! So here you'll see assignments. You would just go to whichever assignment that you're looking for. And I'm just going to hit the back button. You'll notice in my rubrics workshop on my assignment, I've got directions, submission information, and grading information. That's not part of the rubric. It's part of your assignment directions. I will, however, highly suggest that you add this information for students so they don't email you asking those questions. I know this is something a lot of people forget, but if you have, let's say, 10 quizzes, you make your instructions for each of those, copy them and paste them into the rest of those 10 quizzes or those 9 quizzes. And you will save yourself a ton of time answering emails. Now, at the bottom of this assignment, we have the rubric. Now, I just deleted that because I wanted you to see the plus rubric. Now, you could delete rubrics. I'd be very careful with that because you can actually delete your entire rubric. Not saying I've done that on accident before. So you want to be sure it's the right rubric. So you just want to go here. I'm just going to put rubrics workshop. And here you're going to see it's the exact same setup where it comes to building your rubric. However, you're also going to see these items down here. Now with that holistic example, the holistic rubric example where it said, I'll write free-form ratings, that's right here. I don't suggest using that very often unless it's going to be a formative assessment or you want to give really thorough, really specific individual feedback to people. I wouldn't remove points from a rubric. I don't really use or suggest using at the moment outcomes in the Mastery Gradebook. What I do always suggest is ticking the use this rubric for assignment grading. Checking this tick box means this rubric is going to show up in your speed grader. So once you go to your assignment in your gradebook, you click speed grader and your rubric will be on the right side of your screen. It's already there, it's point and click. And then you can just kind of add things to your gradebook. You know, there's a spot for feedback, that type of thing. Now, again, you can add criterion. And I'm just going to put our handy grammar. I'm going to update this one and say research sources, just because I don't want to put original post. But here we go, original post. Create that. And then it is create rubric. And now you'll see your workshop rubric right here. Now, if you don't want to use discrete numbers, let's say you want to use a range, something we're seeing as a change is this little range tick box popping up outside of the edit area. So you can click range here, or you can go into your rubric and click range here. I will say from experience that sometimes the range, getting it correct is a little time consuming and a little difficult. If you have the patience for it, fantastic. Definitely use the ranges. If you don't, you can always put in your grading information that the rating numerical points is a range. You may say, and I might, instead of full marks, give you somewhere between 5 and 0. Please see my feedback as for why. So there is some plasticity or flexibility in this section where you're adding points or making ranges. Now, my next example is the discussion board that we just keep talking about nonstop. All right, So to add your rubric to your discussion board, you're going to go up here to the upper right. You're going to click the hidden menu signified by the 3 vertical dots. Go all the way to the bottom and click Add Rubric. Then you're going to come over here and hit Add Rubric again. Now, this little text box, you'll notice you can move if you click on it and then press hold. So click, and then you'll want to left click on like your mouse, your little touchpad, whatever it is that you use. That way you can move your rubric to wherever you need it to be. If it's too small, don't forget you can, if I can grab it, move it. We could definitely do it over here. On the corner where you see these 3 little diagonal lines. That's sometimes hard to see, but you can also on many days grab it on the sides and make it longer or taller. Now here you're going to see it's the exact same thing. You're going to want to title this before you save it. Always like to put rubric in it. You want to use this for assignment grading. You can add your criteria. Update, create rubric. And you will get a warning if your points don't match. So I'm going to leave it different because if you leave it different, you can come in and change your points. So that's okay. And if you're wondering, I didn't see the points, where are the points different? If you go into your assignment directions, and that would mess up the view here, but if you do go into your assignment directions and you put in your point value for each assignment or discussion board, that's where it's conflicting with the rubric. So you want those to match. And if you leave different, that just means you're going to come back and update that. So again, here it's going to make me want to edit. And that is going to be right here with your points possible. So we can always put 5, and now it's going to match my rubric. Just like that. And you'll have that with every single assignment. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you with your assignments is a wonderful, wonderful thing for you Gordon Rule people or anyone who has essay exams or, math, writing, that type of thing. You can actually attach a rubric to a quiz or an assignment where you're going to have an essay question or math questions. To do that, you're going to go to your exam assignment. You're going to go to the hidden menu with those 3 vertical dots. And you are going to where it said show rubric. That's where we've got the hidden add rubric. So you just have to do it twice. For discussion boards, it's 2 add rubrics. For your exams, it's show rubric, then add rubric. And of course, you don't see the tick box for show this in SpeedGrader. It's because it's already there. Oh, so you don't have to worry about the tick box here. So rubric workshop, exam rubric, and then I'm going to create my rubric. So that's how you attach it. Isn't that wonderful? Now we're going to move to how to actually find rubrics across your courses and share them across your courses and even across semesters. Okay, 3. All right, so what we're going to do is you'll notice I paused and I removed this rubric that we just created. So I deleted that rubric, so I would have to find a totally separate rubric. You'll notice in every single one of our rubric creation areas, there is a find rubric. It's a little blue hyperlink with a magnifying glass in the upper right. So you're going to click that. and it's going to find every rubric that you've created in every class you've ever taught. And if you think that that is a little overwhelming, then don't look at my list. So you'll notice over here, I've made this larger by dragging the corner, and I can actually see on the left every course that I'm listed as a teacher in. I know that seems like a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my sandbox, which is this one right here. You'll notice these are all the rubrics I've created in the center. So your first step, find the course. Second step, find the discussion board. So the discussion board I'm going to actually find is rubric test for exam, and that's this one right here. And you can either click this or you can click use this rubric. So I click use this rubric, and now you're going to see it is right here. And that is how you attach discussion boards, rubrics for exams or quizzes for math or writing across all of your sections. So you don't have to create it one place. You can move it everywhere throughout your courses for your current semester. And that is going to save you a ton of time. So now you can test it in one class, and if you need to make a tweak, then you can roll it out across all your classes. Now, again, I'm going to make this a little small. You'll notice this is the slideshow that we were on, and I've created a pictorial tutorial for you on creating each of these rubrics, how to find them, and even how to attach your rubrics across courses. So again, self-enrolling into the Canvas course is going to be really important. Now, at this stage, if you have any questions, like how do I self-enroll into the Canvas course, that information is going to be at the bottom in the YouTube description box. You can always reach out to a UNF instructional designer in our slide deck. It's even hyperlinked, and you'll see we are all here listed. So you can see either me or Davy or whoever you may work with insert. I'm just going to close that. And then, of course, we do appreciate your feedback. And this is where actually being asynchronous online is going to be really handy for you. You will see on the slide the little QR code. You can actually pull up your smartphone, use your camera function, click on the, or at least hold it up to the QR code, and this will take you to our Qualtrics feedback form. We do really appreciate any feedback that you have, whether there's something you wish we had covered in this workshop. If there are other options in in our YouTube channel list that you'd like to see, you can always add that. So thank you so much for attending,
Thank you so much, everybody.
and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.
Bye.